Have you ever wondered if one single person could truly change the course of history? Imagine being in a position where your courage could save an entire nation, but your silence could doom them. Today, we're diving into one of the Bible's most remarkable stories, the story of Esther, the queen who risked everything for her people. Our story begins in the ancient Persian Empire. King Xerxes, a powerful yet unpredictable ruler, has just dismissed his queen, Vashti, for defying him. He demands a new queen, and a search begins across his empire, which spans from India to Ethiopia. Beautiful young women are brought to the palace, including a Jewish orphan named Hadassah, known as Esther. Esther is raised by her cousin, Mordecai, a devout Jew who teaches her to honor their faith and heritage. Though she lives in exile in Persia, her roots and beliefs remain deeply ingrained within her. When Esther is brought to the palace, Mordecai advises her not to reveal her Jewish identity. He senses there may be challenges ahead where such knowledge could endanger her life. Esther undergoes months of beauty treatments and preparation, as was customary for any woman vying for the king's favor. Her humility, grace, and natural beauty captivate King Xerxes, and before long, she is crowned Queen of Persia. But little does she know, her true calling as queen is not about luxury or power. It's about courage, faith, and destiny. Meanwhile, trouble brews in the royal court. Haman, an ambitious and wicked official, rises to power as the king's advisor. Despite his high position, Haman is fueled by hatred, especially toward Mordecai, who, as a devout Jew, refuses to bow down to him. Haman's pride and rage drive him to plot an unimaginable act, the total annihilation of the Jewish people across the empire. Haman convinces King Xerxes to issue an edict allowing the destruction of all Jews within the kingdom. A date is set, and the decree is sealed with the king's ring. Mordecai tears his garments, dons sackcloth, and weeps at the city gates, a sign of unbearable grief. He sends a message to Queen Esther, urging her to go to the king and plead for their people's lives. But Esther's position is perilous. No one, not even the queen, may approach the king without being summoned. Doing so could result in death unless the king extends his golden scepter. Can you imagine the weight of the decision Esther has to make? On one hand, she could play it safe and preserve her own life. On the other, she could risk everything for the sake of her people. Esther replies to Mordecai with hesitation, but Mordecai's response is piercing. Do not think that because you are in the king's house, you alone will escape. For if you remain silent at this time, relief and deliverance will arise for the Jews from another place, but you and your family will perish. And who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? The phrase, "for such a time as this," resonates deeply. Esther comes to a turning point. She realizes her role as queen may not be about her comfort or safety. It's about her calling to stand in the gap for her people. She asks Mordecai to gather all the Jews in the city to fast and pray for 3 days. She vows to do the same with her attendants, and she courageously declares, "If I perish, I perish." On the 3rd day, Esther dons her royal robes and steps into the inner court of the palace. Can you imagine the tension? The fate of an entire nation hangs in the balance as she approaches the throne. King Xerxes sees Esther and, to everyone's relief, extends his golden scepter, signaling that she is welcome to speak. Esther invites the king and Haman to a banquet she has prepared. During the meal, the king, intrigued by her request, promises to grant her any wish, up to half his kingdom. But Esther does not reveal her true purpose just yet. Instead, she invites them to a second banquet the following day. That night, an extraordinary twist occurs. The king, unable to sleep, orders the royal chronicles to be read aloud to him. As fate, or divine intervention, would have it, the records include the story of Mordecai uncovering a plot to assassinate the king, an act for which Mordecai had never been rewarded. King Xerxes decides to honor Mordecai the very next day, much to Haman's humiliation. At the second banquet, Esther finally reveals her heart-wrenching plea. "If I have found favor with you, your majesty, and if it pleases you, save my life and the lives of my people. For we have been sold to be destroyed, killed, and annihilated." King Xerxes, shocked and enraged, demands to know who is behind this plot. Esther points to Haman, declaring, "An enemy and adversary, this vile Haman." The king storms out in fury, and Haman, realizing his doom, pleads with Esther for his life. But justice is swift. Haman is executed, and his evil plan is overturned. The edict allowing the Jews to defend themselves is issued, and on the very day their enemies sought to destroy them, the Jews achieve a great victory. Esther's bravery not only saves her people, but also allows them to thrive in the days that follow. Her story is a timeless testament to faith, courage, and the power of stepping into your calling, even when it's terrifying. Esther's example teaches us that we are often placed in specific moments and positions, not by chance, but for a purpose. And like Esther, we may be called to act courageously for such a time as this. So what does Esther's story mean for you? Are there moments in your own life where you've felt a nudge to step out in faith, even at great personal risk? Remember, courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward in spite of it. Esther's life reminds us that when we align ourselves with God's will, miraculous outcomes unfold, and even ordinary people can change the world. That's the incredible story of Queen Esther. It's a tale of faith, bravery, and divine purpose that continues to inspire and challenge us today. If you've been moved by this story, share it with someone who might need the reminder that they too can make a difference when they act courageously. And remember, who knows but that you have come to your position for such a time as this? Stay tuned for more inspiring stories from the Bible, and don't forget to like, follow, and share. #Bible, #Jesus, #God, #Jews, #Christian, #Christianity, #Faith.